am back. Craig, how we doing, mate?
Fuming.
I don't even know where to start with that. Referees. I know I hate butchering referees, but I think it needs to be mentioned. The missed penalty. I mean, let's just get on with the missed penalty, mate. Obviously, good. DCL steps up and he just blasts it wide. I mean, of all the people,
Yeah, it's one like I feel like Mitch is the most confident penalty taker out of the bunch. You know, like
he's
when
missed one as well. Though.
you what? Sorry,
He's missed one as well, though, didn't he? Against did he miss one against City?
against I don't know against.
Man City in the last game when he stepped up, he missed the penalty, didn't he?
Did he? I can't remember.
But regardless of it, obviously you think that DCL should
I
have.
can't remember.
Sorry,
I just think Mitch has got a more confident aura about him when it comes to penalties. You could tell DCL weren't he weren't very he didn't look very confident when he went to take it and to snatch it wide like that. It just I mean that was a golden opportunity to get a goal.
it was, and especially what happened afterwards, what transpired with the red card. So, I mean, what was the referee doing? The fact that he gave him a yellow card half an hour earlier, gave him a yellow card, and then completely forgot that he'd already booked him.
That's bad referee, That I mean, there's giving a wrong decision, but forgetting the player that you've booked. It, I mean, within that amount of time, is just that's ludicrous.
Like I said, the referees in England in general are shocking, but
Yeah.
to not know that. But I mean, did you think it was a second yellow or?
No, I didn't even. I think the second one was, it's debatable. You see it from one angle and not the other side where because he caught Goodmanson as well. So it's like, but you could see Sa did it earlier with Biol. Like Biol barely touched him and he went down, tried getting Biol sent off. Because that's what initially happened when Sa went down. The players went to try and surround the referee to get Biol sent off, and the crowd is shouting off, off, off. And then they did it again with Goodmanson. But as soon as Goodmanson got up, as soon as that referee started pulling the card out of his pocket, Sa were up off his feet. He were fine. And then they had that idiot, whatever his name is, Convet or whatever his name is, dancing in the background. And I'm like, well, that shows that they're just trying to get players sent off.
Yeah,
But before that, the first one against Brendan Johnson, I don't even think that were a yellow because Brendan Johnson had all the Gabby's shirt pulling him to one side. Yeah, they both had it all to each other. But then when he turned inside, he pulled Gabby with him and towards him. So that made Gabby go this way. He went that way, and which got the ball free. And then he went down because Gabby tried to pull him back. And it's like half a dozen, one, whatever the saying is. You know, it's all ifs, buts, and I just think it's too soft now.
yeah.
I agree.
I
It shouldn't be allowed to ref another game completely.
I
That's
mean, Johnson done three cut. If Goodmanson's was two yellows, fair enough. If you've done it, then Johnson then needs to be sent off as well for
yeah,
consistency.
definitely.
It's
You have more
consistent.
than
I think we ask as fans, it is consistent referees,
yeah.
but
If you're gonna give it to us, like Brendan Johnson should have had about 5 yellow cards, and then they got opportunity to take him off. But
yeah,
the frustrating thing is, it meant we had to change shape, we had to change tactics, we had to change how we were set up in that game, and now we miss Gabby for the next game. It's
it
all
is
those have knock-on effects.
it's frustrating. But at the end of the day, it's a clean sheet, which we don't really have much of this season. It is another point on the board, which is good, but at the same time, every other relegation team got a point as well, which is really unheard of. But I mean, first time in I think since 2003, 2004, where the side down to 10 men haven't conceded a shot on target. Yes, they put the ball in the back of the net, but it was offside. So, I mean, do you think? a point was the fair result. I know we missed the penalty and we had a man sent off, and they didn't really, like I said, have any shots on target. But like his comments here, 10 men down in London, 0-0, not the best, but decent.
Yeah, well, it's not the best. It was decent that we kept a clean sheet, but no, I don't think it were a fair result because we went down to 10 men, right, and they had no shots on target. So even when we went down to 10 men, we had arguably the better chances. So it's one of them. No, I feel gutted that we didn't come away with more. So I don't
No,
think it was a fair result.
no, it is a tough one. I mean, Darlow didn't have anything to do though, did he? So two.
Exactly. That's exactly. So it's I can't say. Yeah, it's good. With any other circumstances, it's good. A point away in London and a clean sheet. But watching that game, I thought we were the team that deserved it because
I,
they offered nothing, did they? Really?
no, they didn't. And I mean, yes, the save that he made was it was going wide, so he just did it for the cameras. I am really sorry. I'm just gonna have to jump upstairs. My daughter is crying. Craig, if you can just carry on talking about Darlow
Yeah,
in the game, that'll be 2 seconds. I do apologise.
it's all right. Point is the point, as a very poor. Yeah, I get it. Like, I mean, everything were against us, so a point when everything's against you is massive. But in them circumstances, but I just feel, for me personally, I just feel that we deserved more out of that game because, like I said, Palace offered absolutely nothing. How they've got to safety or more or less safe is unreal because they were shocking. And I think that if we didn't have to change, if we didn't have to change our tactics, I believe that we would have gone on and won that game. But the refereeing is just absolutely unreal. I can't understand how these people are allowed to do that. But then that's when you start getting these conspiracies in your mind, isn't it? About how they're doing it on purpose. Is there another reason behind it? Because, like I was saying to Mike earlier, that you've got every team that needed points today to stay out of that last relegation spot, all drew, and you've got West Ham drawing against Man City. You've got Tottenham drawing against Liverpool that have been absolutely garbage for weeks. I mean, Forest versus Fulham's not so much of a shock, but no, we can't appeal it either because it's 2 yellow cards. But the fact that he forgot who he'd booked is just mind blowing. I just don't think it's I don't think it's fair. Something's got to be done, and something's got to, because I think it's not the first time this season, and I think it's cost us points. But we should have gone on and won that game. We should have put it to bed. We should have scored the penalty, chances to win. So first time back at Ellen Road since 2006. Oh, 20 years in the making to get back. I hope you have a good time. It would be a good game against Burnley as well. Hopefully, I'll be able to get to that match.
I am ever so sorry for that. My daughter decided to have a little cry and wake up, so I do apologise. What did we miss?
No, I've just been talking about refs and whether it were a good point or not. And Andrew's coming over to watch Burnley, Leeds versus Burnley in 4 weeks, first time back since 2006. So
I do apologise for that. That was very
do you
unprofessional of
think
me.
Frank will be in charge next season? He always seems to leave it too late to bring us up. See, this is a matter of opinion, I think.
We'll discuss Russ. We'll discuss Farker at the end when we get into manager rating and the subs because I do have a, a really bad part about it. But mate, going back to Darlow, mate, what would you rate him today for what little he done?
I'd give him a solid like a solid 7.5. He didn't do no wrong and didn't have nothing to do. So, but when
That's
he
the thing.
when he was needed, he was there.
I mean, how many claim his passing was a lot better. I mean, he made a claim. I'd probably just entitled just to give him a 7.
Uh, he was pulled off a good save. It might be for cameras, but he did it. And yeah, he did give me that heart in mouth moment though when he took too long to clear the ball in the first few minutes. But yeah, I thought it was solid overall. I like Darlow though.
No, that's fine, mate. Rodon next, mate. What would you rate him,
8.
mate? It was so good,
It
so
was
good.
it was good. I'm tempted to go higher really, but
I would, but I
yeah,
just think he was everywhere at the back, especially towards the end. He was clearing everything up. His interceptions, winning the ball in the air.
it was best crosser today. He was best crosser of the ball. He put it on a plate for DCL to score an header, and it just generated no power behind that header. It was unreal. But yeah, Rodon were Colossus today. I think I tempted to just go give him a 9. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, I'm going for a 9 as well. Bijol next, mate.
Shaky in it first half, a bit. It were a bit shaky in first half, but I think second half he came back stronger. Yeah, definitely. I think give him an 8.
Yeah, I thought he was decent, especially with the clearances as well. Most in the game
I just
was
thought
there.
it first half he were a bit dodgy because he was holding up balls a bit too long and nearly put himself into trouble, which got him his yellow card. So
No, I agree with you, but I'm gonna get 8.5 for him. What about Strouk, Pascal, mate?
yeah, I think 8.5 for strike. I thought he was good today. Good on
No,
ball, good on ball, and almost created a chance that DCL again late to get on to the end of.
yeah, definitely 8.5. I thought them three at the back are so
Yeah,
solid.
really good today.
Right, let's talk about Goodmanson, mate. Just obviously you've mentioned to me what you thought about him already.
Yeah, I thought he were a threat going forward. He were a threat today. Um, and I think they saw that because they couldn't handle him. They couldn't handle his pace. He were, they were outpacing him down that flank. And I had this theory that they got him sent off because of that. But yeah, it was a shame until he went off. I probably give him maybe a 7 because until he went off, because I thought he were all right until that point, and then he'd probably got higher if he'd have stayed on.
I'm going to give him a 6. Obviously, you've done well, but obviously, he did get sent off as well. I know that we could
Yeah,
say it wasn't his, it shouldn't have been sent off, but because of it, I am going to go down to a 6. Can you just carry on with Justin next, mate? And I will be 2 seconds again. So if you just carry on for me, please.
Justin's solid. I think that he's he can play and he can play anyway. He's like I knew Stuart Dallas in a way. Um, who played all right at right back. I do think Bogle's better there though, and but the second half he were forced to switch onto the left, and yeah, Justin was a bargain, and then he played well on left as well. So I think a solid 8 for him would be good. I do prefer Bogle on that right hand side. Though I think he just offers a little bit more than Justin in attacking wise. Farkle, I think everybody does. He were a bargain. Justin is a really, really good player. I think well underrated. I don't think Tanaka is ready to start yet. We'll probably see that, Stephen, in next game. I think now Gabby's not going to be able to play against Brentford. I think JJ will start on left and Bogle on right. But I do prefer Bogle on right in for the attacking sense. So, but Justin's good enough on left.
What have you given Justin, mate?
A solid 8.
Yes, I'm going to give you 7.5. No, Let's go an 8, actually. I will go for an 8. Ampadu next, mate.
Um,
I'm 8. I'm going to go for 8 for Ampadu.
yeah, I think eight's where I've got in my head. I've seen people say that he were a beast today, and I'm like, he were a bit sloppy with his passing. Um, but yeah, in defensively in second half, it were a lot better. 'Cause but is when he's pinned back in that 18-yard box, playing as a defender. But I've always said that I think he's a better centre back than he is midfielder, and I'll die on the hill saying that he's a better defender. But yeah, he picked up in second half a lot better, and I think an 8 for me, solid 8.
That's fine. I'm going to go for 8 as well. What about Stack?
Stack again 8. I thought you were amazing in midfield. He's I think he was
It's
just
just
unlucky.
I think it's just his passing that lets him down.
Yeah, but I just think you were unlucky today in certain points. But he's so good. He's so good at doing what he does. Stack.
Aronson, mate, I know he came off at half time, but 7?
Yeah, I think Aronson gets a 7. Snatched at his shot, didn't he? Should have done better with
Yeah.
that, but he was busy, and I thought he created a lot of problems around their defenders. So it was a shame that he had to come off again, which changed the whole dynamic of the team. So, but yeah, 7.
Mecha, I know you didn't. I mean, it's really, really hard because, yes, it was 45 minutes. He would caused a little bit of trouble, but wasn't effective, if you know what I mean. 6.5? Or is that too harsh?
No, I think I'm probably a bit harsh. I had to give him a 7 as well because I thought like his off the ball work were good, and just what he brings like alongside DCL. I just think I thought today he looked a lot better than what DCL did, and it's in hindsight it's easy to say I wish he'd have stayed on and not DCL, but we've also seen Mecha play a full 90 minutes and him not be great, so it's easy to say in hindsight, but yeah, I'd stick with a 7 for him.
That's fine. DCL, mate. I mean,
I'm giving him a 6.
yeah. No, I mean, there's nothing really. I mean, we've already alluded to it. Missed penalty
Missed
wasn't.
penalty, two headers that he just weakly got on the end of. I felt like he's been away, he's been injured, and it looked like a player that's just come back from an injury or an illness, like he weren't fully at it.
Touch
Because
was a bit heavy as well. So
yeah,
yeah, 6 for him. Gruev, mate. What would you make of him?
again, a 7. I thought it was solid when he came on.
Agreed. 7 for him, and then Bogle, mate.
Bogle, I gave 7.5 for Bogle. So it were good defending, good trying to get forward. He was like at least with all the sitting back we were doing, he was trying to get forward with it sometimes. So yeah, 7.5.
I'm gonna go for a 7. Couple good tackles, but 3 clearances as well. I think yeah, 7.5.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was good.
right, finally before we end it, Daniel Farker, mate. What would you rate him?
Uh
Because this is where I've got a real dilemma. So yes, he set up well, but at the same time we were down to 10 men. He then done it so we didn't lose. But then why not? I understand this. Why would you not like try and bring on like Dan James or Nonto to try and counter attack him? But
well,
I know you don't want to lose that balance. But it's one of those catch 22s, isn't it? You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
yeah, well, I mean, like I say, I don't think he got anything wrong because he did what he had to do. You know, I just feel that say in the situation we're in, and we were comfortable. Like the way that I saw it is like say the last 10 minutes we were comfortable, but all I wanted was bring Dan James on. You don't have to sacrifice anything defensively. Take DCL off. Like you could take DCL off and not sacrifice anything defensively, but because all you have to do then is when you're sitting back that deep, you knock that ball into them channels, and the person you want running on to the end of them is Dan James, because if they've got nobody to worry about, like DCL, maybe he's going to win headers, but he's not going to run, and them defenders are just not going to be worried about it. But if you've got Dan James on, they're going to be worried about it. So yeah, exactly. I've been calling for Dan James coming on in these type of games where we're defending and just sitting back and holding on. I've called it so many times. We need Dan James just to have that outlet, and all you have to do is just knock a ball up long into channels. They'll worry about the defenders. Will worry. They'll stop thinking about coming so far forward, which will relieve a bit of pressure just by having him there. Because, like I keep saying, in a foot race, who do you want, DCL or Dan James?
No, I agree with you. I mean, what would you rate Farker, mate?
See, I'm not going to rate him bad. I think he got it right to get us a clean sheet, and I think the original setup as we started would have won us the game. So for that, I'd give him maybe a 7.5.
That's rather low. I was thinking 8, right? Solely because, yes, we went down to 10 men. He brought on Gruev to like help defend a lot more. Bring on Bogle as well for that. So for the wings, I get that. But at the same time, it's that there was no late subs, which obviously Russ said earlier. Why doesn't he make any late subs? Or he leaves it too late. But in this case, he didn't do any. And that is frustrating for me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, but for like I say, in hindsight, 'cause, like I always use a comparison with, like, say, when you're playing. I know it's not real, but when you're playing Football Manager, do you actually make subs in the last 5 minutes when you're winning a match, or when you're holding on for a draw? Do you actually make subs for no reason? It's like
Sometimes.
if you feel like that, like you're gonna, like in Farker's mind, he might be just go, we've got a point. We'll just, there's no point in risking it. But I feel that we were comfortable. Like after like 65 minutes, I'm thinking we're comfortable here. Like Palace not even hurting us, and we're down to 10 men.
Yeah.
You stick Dan James on, we've got a chance.
No, oh yeah, completely. And that's
That's
why
what
that's what I was advocating for. That's what we
but
needed. A
it's not
change.
what it's not what I think that Farker should have necessarily done. Like in his mind, he might not, because he's not a gambling person, is he? He don't want to risk that.
Not unless
He
we're
don't wanna
losing.
risk
Not
it.
unless if we're losing, he will.
Yeah,
But
if
if
we
we're
were
winning,
losing,
he'll
yeah,
do
he
it.
will, but he'll not risk it. Whereas in my eyes, I'd be like, I'd gamble that, and I'd just go, well, risk and reward. You could get 3 points here, and just go for it. But on the
That's
opposite, if it works, it works. And on the opposite end, if you end up losing, it's a bad decision.
yeah.
So Farker, as much as fans will say Farker should have done this and should have done that, he will be sat comfortable going, well, if I did do that and we lost, you'd be saying other things.
Yeah.
So a
That's fine.
point's better than nothing.
I'll come down to a 7.5 because I know obviously I have a little disagreement today. But before we do end this, mate, and I do apologise, this is a short one, kids and all of that. What is your score prediction for next Saturday against Brentford?
I think we have to go and win this. I think it's got to be 2-0. I think we've got to win this game to get momentum back again. And
I was going to go 2-0 as well.
yeah, I think that's well, Stephen.
Yeah.
Have we said anything for man at match today?
Man of the match, I think we've both given it to Rodon, haven't we?
Yeah, Rodon man
Right.
at match.
No, that's fine. So we are going to leave it short here, and we will be back for the Brentford game. Guys, thank you all for listening, and I do apologise that I've had to dash off a couple times. We'll see you next time. Leeds.
See you later.